Just keep the children back off the street. We just got a report that there's going to be an ambulance coming through and fire apparatus. There's an emergency in Huguenot. So if you keep everybody back off the street for just a few minutes till they come through. The lead car has turned on to Kingston Avenue. And I'd like to give you a little history about the Port Jervis Fire Department Parade. Next year we'll be celebrating our 150th anniversary. A committee has already been formed. And we should have the largest Port Jervis Fire Department Inspection Day parade ever, as we're going to invite every single fire company that has ever paraded in Port Jervis over the past 149 years. So we should have a great parade. Today's parade consists of 8 divisions. Each local company invites a certain amount of guests, and the parade is broken down into 8 divisions with each company's guests in that particular division. My name is Rick Drew, chairman of the Port Jervis Tourism Board and a 24-year member of the Port Jervis Fire Department. This is the section of town that we need cheering when they come through here. You guys are the cheering section. We have Sharon Siegel from Access 8 who will be taping the parade today, and it will be aired probably sometime during the week. And we need lots of clapping and cheering as the units make their way past the reviewing stand and down to the disbanding area at the training center. This is the 4th year that the annual parade has made its way down to the training center, winding up in one spot. Over the past years, we took the parade back, all the units went back to their firehouses and they served their guests there. But due to the size of the parade and the amount of people that we had, we decided to wind the parade up in one spot. And that's why the reviewing stand has been moved up here rather than down on East Main Street where it was located for many years. I have some good news for you. The balloon vendors will not be allowed past Schultz Street today due to the fact that we don't want the view blocked. So they're only allowed to come down as far as Schultz Street, then they have to go back. So you won't be bothered with that. We have about 52 units in the parade today from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. And this is the oldest parade in the United States, the oldest fireman's parade. Thanks.
Huh? Karen. Hi, Sharon.
Hello.
And as the parade approaches the reviewing stand, we have quite a few thank yous. People who help make this parade possible each and every year. Dick Drew is the secretary of the fire department, and he is the chairman of the fire department's parade each year. He works very hard. We'd like to thank Dick. We'd like to thank the Port Jervis DPW for all they do to make sure the streets are closed down at the proper times. And of course the Port Jervis Police Department, under the leadership of our chief, Bill Wagner. the Port Jervis Common Council, and Mayor, for all they do to make sure that we are able to run this parade as successfully as we do each and every year. And remember what I told you, you guys are the cheering section today. And as the Port Jervis Police Department car approaches, being driven by our Chief of Police, Bill Wagner, he's riding actually, Craig Cherry, the lieutenant, is driving. We thank them for everything that they do to help make the parade such a success. Bill and Craig. They're immediately followed by our Town of Deer Park neighbors, police car from the Town of Deer Park. Next up is our 53-year member of Tri-State Hose Company number 6. He's also a councilman for the city of Port Jervis for many years. Let's hear it for Mr. John Olenek and his wife Julie. John and Julie Olenek, Grand Marshal, 1999 Inspection Day Parade. We thank Port Jervis Automobile for that car. Dave Case is driving today. John and Julie Olenek, Grand Marshal, 1999. 53-year member of the Port Jervis Fire Department, longtime councilman. Directly behind them is the Palisades Park Fire Department marching band. They'll be escorting the officers of the Port Jervis Fire Department today. Port Jervis Fire Department officers, Chief Joseph Cole Sr., First Assistant Chief John Mott, Second Assistant Chief Harold Howlett, Department Secretary Dick Drew, Rocco Giovanella, our Treasurer, Jim Rohner, County Deputy Coordinator. Let's welcome the officers of the Port Jervis Fire Department. Let's hear it for the Palisades Park Fire Department Band. Palisades Park, New Jersey. Next we have our Fire Inspector Leo Fleming and Dave Hoffman, the Orange County Coordinator. Past Chief of the Port Jervis Fire Department, Dick Hoskins, and Chuck Bumgarner.
Hi, Dick.
Chris, how you doing?
Next we have the award-winning VFW Rosa Post 161 Color Guard that lead many of our parades in Port Jervis, New York. They're followed by the people that I mentioned earlier. Without the Port Jervis Common Council, we would not be able to host this event. We have Mayor Michael Warden, County Legislator Dick Roberts, John Bonasek, our Common Council members, Jake Gunther. Senator Bonasek is here in the car. He's riding. And we have the trophy van, which will be the trophies that will be awarded at 6 o'clock tonight at the training center. And that truck is donated by Harry Barton. We thank Harry for allowing us to use his truck. Scott and Carol Jewell always do the trophies, arranging. And this is the Port Jervis Fire Department's high-angle rescue team. That truck's being driven by Carol Jewell, a member of Never Sink Engine Company number 1. have our department chaplain, Father David DeSimone from the Most Sacred Heart Church. And they're being followed by the Port Jervis Fire Police van. And the fire police are located throughout the city today, helping our police department keep control. And that concludes the escort division. This will begin the first division of the parade. Host of the division is Tri-State Host Company number 6, home of our Grand Marshal John Olenek. This division is being led by the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 140 Color Guard from Orange County, New York. And the lead division band is the McCoy Colonial Pipes and Drum Band, Cornwall, New York. They're followed by our first company from Port Jervis, Tri-State Host Company number 6. Their captain is Ed Pavlish, First Lieutenant Rich Opelt, Second Lieutenant Jeff Martin. Tri-State Host Company number 6. And their apparatus is being ridden by their 25 and 50-year members, Art Steppert, Jim McGaw. Next, from Bloomingdale, New Jersey, the Bloomingdale Coronet Marching Band. They will be leading a good friend of Tri-State Host Company number 6 for many years, the Butler Fire Department. Bloomingdale Coronet Marching Band, Bloomingburg, New Jersey. Let's hear it for them, folks. From Butler, New Jersey, a long-time friend of Tri-State Host Company number 6, the Butler Fire Department, Butler, New Jersey. They've been coming to Port Jervis for a good many years. Next, another longtime guest, a local group from just up the street a little bit. Good friends of the Port Jervis Fire Department, best friends with the Tri-State Host Company number 6. Huguenot Fire Department with their new uniforms, led by Chief Alan Sawshot. Huguenot Fire Department. Huguenots brought several pieces of apparatus with them today, including their fire rescue, their tanker, and their pumper. Next up, from Roslyn, New Jersey, please welcome the Roslyn Marching Band. Roslyn, New Jersey. Roslyn, New York, I'm sorry. They're followed by a longtime friend of the Tri-State Host Company number 6. From Tolman, New York, please welcome Tolman Fire Department, Tolman, New York. They've been coming with Tri-State's Host Company number 6 for many years as well. Tolman, New York. They're being led by their chief, Joe Tisso. And Tolman's apparatus, Chief's car, pumper. And the final guest of Tri-State Host Company number 6 today, our neighbors from up the river, the Lumberland Fire Department from Glen Spey, New York. And Lumberland's apparatus. This is the beginning of the second division, which is hosted by Mahagamak Hook and Ladder. The longtime band of Mahagamak Hook and Ladder, the Florida Legion Band, Florida, New York. Please welcome the Florida Legion Band. They're followed by our second host company, Mahagamak Hook and Ladder. The marshal of the division is Peter Mallet, Sr., Captain. Robert Warden is their first lieutenant, and Joseph Cole Jr. is their second lieutenant. This is the home company of our fire chief, Joseph Cole Sr. Let's hear it from Mahagamak Hook and Ladder. And their lifetime members, Dick Turner. And our Mahagamak Hook and Ladder apparatus being driven by Gene Hughes today. And their first guest is a longtime guest of this parade with Mahagamak, Fearless Hook and Ladder Company from Walden, New York. Chief is Richard J. Penny. And they did bring a band, but I don't have the name of it. Have their own band inside the fire truck. Walden Fire Department, Fearless Hook and Ladder. And another long-time participant in the Port Jervis Parade, also friends of Mahagamak Hook and Ladder from Ellenville, New York. Please welcome Scoresby Hook and Ladder Company, Ellenville, New York. Officer in charge, Dave Wigan. Chief driver, and their apparatus. And that concludes the second division of today's parade. Again, Dick Drew is here now. I'd like to have a round of applause for Dick Drew, the chairman of the parade, the department secretary. He does a great job putting this all together. And he's also the co-chairman for the 150th anniversary parade, which I told you about earlier, which will take place here next year. Now, the third division of the parade is usually reserved for our neighbors across the river, Matamoros. We certainly consider them part of our fire department because they are so close. So they have their own division, and they are also allowed to invite guests to come to the parade. I don't see Joe there, but Joe Riccardi was supposed to be here, but I don't see him. He had a wedding today, okay? But we do have the Matamoros Common Council leading their division. Please welcome Matamoros Fire Department, Matamoros, Pennsylvania, and their Ladies Auxiliary. Chief is Kevin DeGroat. Gary Babb is the first assistant chief, and Bill Nealis is their second assistant chief. They have their auxiliary with them today. Let's hear it for the Matamoros Fire Department. And they have a lot of apparatus with them today as well. Their pumper, their ladder, and their rescue truck. Notice the drapes on the truck. They lost one of their members this past week, and that's why they have the black drapes on the fire trucks. And the Allen G boat. You'll see several boats here today. The Port Jervis Fire Department works hand in hand with Matamoros, Sparrowbush, Westfall, at many river rescues, as you probably well know if you're from Port Jervis. They all work together. Next, our neighbors from down below Matamoros, just a short distance, another fire department that works hand in hand with Port Jervis. Please welcome the Westfall Fire Department, Westfall, Pennsylvania. They're being led by their chief, Alex Snack. Westfall Fire Department. And in this fire department car, we have Bub Silvati. He's the oldest active fire police in Pike County. Let's hear it for Bubby Silvati. And Westfall has brought every piece of apparatus they own today, including their ambulance. I don't know who's covering for Westfall, but everything is here.
We did meet the boat.
Okay, they do not have their boat with them today, but they have everything else. And as West Falls tanker passes, we got all their equipment down there. I hope they got places to park. Next is from our neighbors from up above the river. From Mill Rift, Pennsylvania, please welcome the Mill Rift Fire Department. Officer in charge, Bill Snyder, President. Mill Rift. And this truck is also from Mill Rift. And the third piece of apparatus is also from Mill Rift. I don't know who's covering in Pennsylvania today. They're all here. Mill Rift Fire Department. Next, our friends from down 209, who also work close with us, the Milford Fire Department. Officer in charge, Red Helms, Fire Chief. Please welcome the Milford Fire Department. And they're being followed by the Hemlock Farms Fire Department, Hemlock Farms, Pennsylvania. Robert Palumbo is the chief. Next we have from Colesville, New Jersey. Please welcome the Colesville Fire Department. Officer in charge today is David Kinney, Captain. Wantage Township Fire Department, Colesville, New Jersey. And that concludes the 3rd Division. This is the beginning of the 4th Division. The local company is Never Sink Engine Company number 1. And their band today is the New Jersey Sharpshooters Band. New Jersey Sharpshooters Band. Put them together, folks. And they're followed by the Otisville Correctional Facilities Color Guard from Otisville, New York. Let's hear it for them. And they have their pooper scooper with them. Next, we have the host of the 4th Division. Let's hear it for Never Sink Engine Company number 1 from Port Jervis, Marshal of the Division Donald Decker, Captain, Jeff Bodensike, First Lieutenant, Scott Jewell, Second Lieutenant. Never Sink Engine Company number 1. They also have parading with them
The old fire truck. Really old one.
the Wallkill Engine Company number 6 from Middletown. They're being led by Captain Kyle Morris.
Right on them like that.
Never Sink Engine Company number 1's life members. And their antique steamer, which will be located in our museum upon completion. And the apparatus from Never Sink Engine Company number 1, which will be replaced this year with a new pumper. Their truck is being driven by Jeff Rhodes. Next, from Bud Lake, New Jersey, longtime friend and Never Sink Engine Company number 1. Please welcome the Bud Lake Fire Department. They're being led by Assistant Chief Ken Nelson. Bud Lake Fire Department, Bud Lake, New Jersey. from Callicoon, New York, please welcome the Callicoon Volunteer Fire Department. Officer in charge, Ron Chucci, Chief. Callicoon Fire Department. Next, from Up 42, the Forestburg Fire Department from Forestburg, New York. You know where Forestburg is? These guys got a great turnout today. Forestburg, New York Fire Department. Andy Kozacek is their chief, officer in charge, and their apparatus. From Hardyston, New Jersey, please welcome the Hardyston Township Fire Department, officer in charge, past chief, Ed Zink. Next, longtime friend of Neversink Engine Company number 1. Please welcome Neversink Fire Department from Neversink, New York. Officer in charge, engineer Bob Berger from Neversink, New York. I failed to mention when Neversink Engine Company went by that is the home company of our first assistant chief, John Lawn. And Neversink Fire Department's apparatus. Approaching the reviewing stand. It's the Orange County Professional Musicians from Orange County, New York. Let's hear it for them, folks. Orange Professional Musicians. And they're followed by Columbian Engine Company number 1 from Spring Valley, New York, being led by their chief, Jim McKenzie. Columbian Engine Company number 1, Spring Valley, New York. Let's hear it for them. They brought quite a cavalcade of equipment as well. Spring Valley, New York. Each fire company in today's parade will receive a participation trophy on behalf of the Port Jervis Fire Department. I believe they're handing them out as they go by the reviewing stand. This is the final unit in the 4th Division, guest of Neversink Engine Company number 1. Please welcome the Ulen Fire Department. They're being led today by Chief Tim Schatt. Ulen Fire Department, Ulen, New York. start of the 5th Division. It's being led by the Maybrook Boy Scout Troop 236 from Maybrook, New York. Let's hear it for them, folks. They're being followed by our own Delaware incoming number 2, Fort Jervis. Marshal is Robert Paget, Jr. Captain. Steve Bannis, First Lieutenant. William Van Horn is the Second Lieutenant. Delaware Engine Company number 2, Fort Jervis. Engine 2 always has quite a big division, so they do have a large division in the parade today. This is their apparatus. Coming up next is this is a real treat that we have this drum corps here today. They were the champions at the Hudson Valley Firemen's Parade this year. There were about 87 bands in the parade. They were one of the champs. Let's hear it for the St. Peter's Drum and Bugle Corps from Torrington, Connecticut. St. Peter's Drum and Bugle Corps. Drum Corps, all the way from Torrington, Connecticut. Welcome to Fort Jervis. They're followed by a good friend of Delaware Engine Company number 2 for many years. Let's hear it for the Austin Fire Department, Austin, New York. Look at the turnout they got, guys. Let's hear it for Austin. Austin is certainly a welcome addition to the Fort Jervis Parade. Chief of the Austin Fire Department is Bruce Goebel. And the Austin certainly brought a lot of their equipment with them today as well. Many of our local companies have friends in Middletown Fire Department, and when they have their parade, many of us attend that one as well, so you will see quite a few units from Middletown. This is McCoy Engine Company number 3 from Middletown, New York. Captain is Chris DeLillo, McCoy Engine and Ladder Company, Middletown, New York. And their apparatus. They brought their ladder truck. Next. From Connecticut. Let's hear it for the Connecticut Alumni Band. The Connecticut Alumni. They're the escort for the Silver Lake Fire Department. Silver Lake Fire Department from Middletown, New York. led by Chief George Martin. Silver Lake. And the Silver Lake ladder truck.
I haven't seen one of those in years. Hey! Good, how are you?
Because the guy in the front started off happening when they
Next we have the Mechanicstown Mechanical Band. And they're immediately followed by longtime friends of the Port Jervis Fire Department. From Middletown, New York, please welcome the Mechanicstown Fire Company. Mechanicstown. They're being led by their chief, Dominic Gardino. And the Mechanicstown Fire Department's apparatus. We do have an ambulance coming through, so we need to kind of move the parade to the right. If everyone would keep their children back off the street, we have to bring an ambulance up Kingston Avenue. Approaching the reviewing stand, please welcome the posse. They are the escort for the Hillcrest Fire Department, Rockland County, Hillcrest, New York. Let's hear it for the Hillcrest Fire Department. Hillcrest Fire Department's been coming with Engine 2 for several years. George Hill is driving the chief's car. All the way from Hillcrest, New York. And they brought their pumper with them today. Okay, we're just going to stop the parade here for a second so we don't have total chaos when the ambulance comes through. So just bear with us for a couple of minutes and we'll move on. They have to get the street cleared, so if we stop everything for a couple of minutes, it'll help. Okay, sit tight, folks. We're just going to hold it up for just a couple minutes so we can get these vehicles through.
Is it?
No, two are on the other side.
Thank you for your patience, but we thought that it would be best if we just stopped everything for a few minutes. Approaching the reviewing stand is the start of our 6th division. The host of the division is Fowler Rescue and Salvage Company number 3. They're being led by a local group that participates in many of our parades. Please welcome the 82nd Airborne Division Color Guard right here in Port Jervis. And their chief, driven by Rich Tarbell. And they're followed by the other half of the band we saw earlier. They entertained us there for a few minutes. Please welcome Maybrook Boy Scout Troop 236 Marching Band, Maybrook, New York. The escort for our own Fowler Rescue and Salvage Company number 3, Port Jervis, New York. Marshal of the division is the Captain Anthony Roberts, Robert Paget Sr., First Lieutenant, and Josh Hicks, Second Lieutenant. Let's hear it for Fowler Rescue and Salvage Company number 3, Port Jervis, New York. Rescue 3 is the home of our past chief, Russ Potter, who was the Grand Marshal of last year's parade. Their apparatus.
They've already paid for it.
And our Raft rescue boat, Chipper H2. And the Port Jervis Volunteer Ambulance Corps, who helped us out today with a few emergencies that we had, so we certainly thank them for a job well done as well. From Slate Hill, New York, let's welcome the Wayweonda Fire Department. Slate Hill, New York, they're being led by the Chief, Claude Gray. Wayweonda Fire Department, Slate Hill, New York. The color of this fire company is blue. From Johnson, New York, longtime friend of Fowler Rescue and Salvage Company number 3. Let's hear it for Rutgers Engine Company number 1, Johnson, New York. They've been coming to our parade for many years as a guest of Fowler Rescue. And Rutgers Engine Company number 1's apparatus. Officer in charge today is Chief Bill Raymond. Also longtime guests of Fowler Rescue and Salvage are our neighbors from the other side of the mountain. Let's hear it for the Greenville Fire Department, Greenville, New York. Chief Darren Hoffman. Greenville Fire Department apparatus. And Greenville brought several trucks with them today as well. They help us a lot during large fires, standing by, working at the scene. Most of the local fire departments in the area are always involved with Port Jervis, and we thank them for their help. Next, from Fallsburg, New York, please welcome the Fallsburg Fire Department. Next, another good friend of Fowler Rescue and Salvage Company number 3. They've been coming to our parade for many years. Let's hear it for the New Hampton Fire Department, New Hampton, New York. Officer in charge today is Paul Graham, Second Assistant Chief. From Parsippany, New Jersey, please welcome the Parsippany Recovery Unit. Officer in charge today is Brian Cisco, Senior Lieutenant. Parsippany Fire and Rescue Unit from Parsippany, New Jersey. Next, from Pine Island, New York, other side of the mountain. Let's hear it for the Pulaski Fire Department, led by Chief Joe Gallagher. Pulaski. p.m. at the Fire Training Center.
I think we all owe Mr. Rick Drew a round of applause for the fine job he's doing announcing the parade today. Let's hear it.
Thank you. This is the beginning of our 7th division. It's led by Howard Weed Engine Company number 1, or I'm sorry, number 4. Ooh, they'll hang me for that one. And this is the home company of our 2nd Assistant Chief, Harold Howlett. And their escort band today is a local band under the direction of Al Gessner. Let's hear it for the Broome Street Traveling All-Star Band right here in Port Jervis, New York. What a great job they do. Broome Street Traveling All-Stars Band. All local talent. Clap, folks, put them together for the Broome Street Band. Our 7th Division host for today, Howard Weed Engine Company number 4. Marshal of the division is Art Smith, Captain. Mark Fuller, First Lieutenant. Todd Kowinski, Second Lieutenant. Howard Weed Engine Company number 4. Newest firehouse in Port Jervis, Howard Weed Engine Company. Longtime member Jerry Acton. A couple of years ago, Jerry was the Grand Marshal of the parade. The Mills Boys, driven by Jamie Roner. Some of the members of Howard Weed Engine Company number 4 refurbished their old truck. Ross Decker and Hank Gunner in charge of that today. And our in-service pumper, which will soon be out of service because Coors will be receiving a new truck this year. Being driven by Jim Gill. Longtime guest of the Howard Weed Engine Company, Pompton Lakes Fire Department from Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. Officer in charge is Al Evangeleska. Chief. Hope I got that right. Pompton Lakes. In a lot of our parades, very familiar people. Please welcome Queen Village Queens from Warwick, New York. Queen Village Queens, Warwick, New York. They are escorts for one of their hometown companies. Let's hear it for Goodwill Hook and Ladder Company from Warwick, New York. Goodwill Hook and Ladder. Good turnout from Warwick. and the apparatus from the Warwick Fire Department. Next, longtime friend of Howard Reed Engine Company number 4. Let's hear it for the Caldwell Fire Department. Caldwell, New Jersey. Next, from Blooming Grove, Pennsylvania. Blooming Grove Volunteer Fire Department, officer in charge, Art Hinkle, engineer. And the brush truck from Blooming Grove as well.
How the heck can travel like that? And go straight. Hey, good go.
Little demonstration on how these trucks go through the woods. Next, from Eldred, New York. Please welcome the American Legion Ambulance Service. Eldred, New York. American Legion Ambulance, Eldred, New York. This is the beginning of our 8th division, final division of the parade, being led today by Excelsior Engine Company number 5, Fort Jervis. Longtime band, Excelsior Engine Company number 5. For at least 20 years that I know of. Let's hear it for the Franklin Band, Franklin, New Jersey. Franklin Marching Band. Franklin Marching Band, Franklin, New Jersey. Lead band for our 8th and final division. Followed by our own Excelsior Engine Company number 5 from West End, New York, being led by Captain Marshal John Panis, First Lieutenant Dana Presto, Second Lieutenant Frank Fuller Jr. Excelsior Engine Company number 5 celebrated 125 years of service to the city last year. Let's hear it for Excelsior. Excelsior Engine Company number 5, West End, Fort Jervis. Lifetime members, Red and Bob Dwyer, Tom Riley, longtime members of Excelsior. 125 years of service last year to the city of Fort Jervis. Apparatus is being driven by Tom Vicarello, treasurer. Longtime guest of Excelsior, our neighbors from up the river. Let's hear it for the Sparrowbush Fire Department. Sparrowbush, New York. Being led by Jack Flynn, Chief. Sparrowbush Fire Department. Good friends of the Fort Jervis Fire Department. And they're immediately followed by their Ladies Auxiliary, Sparrowbush Fire Department's Ladies Auxiliary. One of the few Ladies Auxiliaries we've seen here today. Let's hear it for the ladies. And the apparatus for the Sparrow Bush Fire Department. They also have their boat with them today. They assist Port Jervis on many of the rescue calls, as does Westfall and Matamoros, as we mentioned earlier. Next, from Pearl River, New York. I think they've become the sister company of Excelsior Engine Company number 5. This is Excelsior Engine Company from Pearl River, New York. All the way from Pearl River. Let's hear it for them. Officer in charge is Dave Smelligan, captain. Another longtime friend of Excelsior Engine Company number 5. From Middletown, New York, let's hear it for Ontario Hose Company number 5, Middletown, New York. They're being led today by Captain Bob Harrison, Ontario Hose Company number 5 from Middletown. Apparatus. As you can see, we had about 5 companies from Middletown here today. And they do invite our companies to go to their parade as well.
Enjoy. Looks good, huh? See you next time. Like Jack Clark says, see you next time.
Another longtime friend of the Excelsior Engine Company number 5 and the Port Jervis Fire Department. From Montague, New Jersey, let's welcome the Montague Fire Department. They're being led today by their chief, longtime chief, Dave Koss. And their apparatus. And the last unit in today's parade, last but certainly not least, Menacing Hose Company from Unionville, New York. They're followed by several ambulances which stood by today. I'd like to take this time to thank you. You're a great audience. You can catch the parade on Access 8 during the next week. I'm sure they'll have it on several times. I'd like to thank Dick Drew, the chairman of the parade, and the Port Jervis Fire Department officers, Joe Cole, Harold Howlett, John Maunt, for making this parade possible. We'll see you next year for a bigger and better parade for the 150th anniversary of the Port Jervis Fire Department. Thanks for coming.